Good morning, folks. Welcome to another beautiful day out here on the beach in West Vancouver, Ambleside Beach. It's a stunning day. The sun is about to come out very soon, and but it's a little bit chillier than normal. Anyway, in today's video, I want to talk about government overreach, or shall we say, how much should the government control our lives on a granular basis? And I think that's obviously an argument as old as time itself. As long as humans have existed, we've argued about that. On the one hand, you've got people, I've got friends that believe in total anarchy. They believe that humanity will organize itself and we will everything will just work. Now, I'm definitely not one of those guys. And then on the other side of the equation, you've got people that believes that government should control literally every little thing, which I do not agree with either. And I don't know where in the middle is the ideal spot, but I do believe that lately it's starting to get a little bit out of hand. We've got just way too much. And I'm not specifically talking about the Canadian government, although this is where I am at the moment, so this is what I'm experiencing more. But in general, I think across the globe, we are getting to a point where government is becoming bigger and bigger, and there's more and more employees, and those employees need to do stuff. So what's happening is they get more and more involved in granularly controlling people's lives, which I don't think is the right way. I think we're moving too far in that direction. We've got freedom of speech, but if you don't call somebody by their preferred pronoun mistakenly, then it's hate speech. Then it's not freedom of speech anymore. It's very, very weird, the whole system, and how they try and and justify it, I suppose. But anyway, we're not talking about those things today. Today I'm talking more about food and what we eat and what we consume. The thing that I find extremely funny is that, it's just a personal little story. So we own the South African shop. We wanted to start this online shop. There's a lot of South Africans over here, and one of the things that we love in South Africa is biltong. Now, biltong is pretty much dried beef. It's nothing funny. Dried beef with some coriander, salt, maybe a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, pepper, a few spices. You hang it out to dry, and I mean, it's been consumed in South Africa for forever, and it gets consumed. I mean, there's thousands of tons of biltong gets eaten in South Africa every day. I mean, you walk into any shopping center in South Africa and there's at least 5 or 6 places where you can buy biltong. It's a standard thing. Everybody eats biltong. It's like everybody makes biltong, everybody eats biltong, and you don't have thousands of people die from salmonella or whatever. It's safe. Yet, here in Canada, we are not allowed to. I'm allowed to make biltong for myself, but technically I'm not even allowed to make biltong and give out to my friends, because Canada believes that biltong needs to be very tightly controlled. It's a very, very high risk food because it's meat. There's meat involved, and the meat can go off. Now, granted, I mean, if you don't look after the stuff right, you can cause damage. But if you let it rot, or you let it, you don't use a clean kitchen or something like that, yeah, of course, it's not ideal. But the rules and regulations over here makes it almost impossible to make biltong and sell biltong, to the extent that some of the biltong shops have been shut down. I mean, old Netvleis that makes the biltong out there in Dawson's Creek in the north of British Columbia, they make absolutely amazing biltong. They do really well. They're great. They make amazing meats, boerewors, and all the stuff that we love. And he's a butcher. He keeps a clean shop, everything. Yet he's not allowed to export or to ship his biltong and stuff to other provinces anymore because of the rules and regulations. We've applied for a license. We are busy going through the process. It's an absolute nightmare. the lady in Island Health or whatever, she where we did the application, you know, she like pulls up stats from some people that died in Kenya in the 1990s or something stupid because they ate contaminated biltong. So for a couple of things, I mean, number one, she's completely ignorant in the fact that there's like I said, thousands and thousands of tons of biltong gets consumed every day. So a couple of people that died so many years ago because they ate contaminated biltong is like a little blip on the system. The second thing is, dude, you can get people that make their own biltong and that do it in a shitty way and that can go off. Very, very, very unlikely, but it could happen. Or you could start with rotten meat in the beginning and then you have a problem. But any which way. Yet, so they so granularly control the production of biltong, but yet you can go into any store here and go buy food that's now food safe qualified, made by some of these factories, that contains a whole bunch of shit that has actually been proven by science to be bad for your health. You know, there's high sugar foods. There are foods that's got stuff in it that, yes, it's not going to make you sick and kill you immediately, but, you know, you are going to actually get cancer, or your odds of stuff like that is much higher. So it makes me wonder, how do they figure it out? I mean, theoretically, there's nothing wrong with biltong, or not theoretically, there is nothing wrong with biltong as long as you make it in a normal, clean butchery. There's absolutely no problem. But what they look at is they go, oh, well, you know, you need to heat it up. So they want us to make jerky. Now, there's a big difference between biltong and jerky. Biltong is just air-dried beef. Jerky is beef that gets basically cooked and then dried. It is so funny. Yet at the same time, you can buy dry-aged beef in almost any supermarket. Okay, I suppose the thing that they're saying is that dry-aged beef, which is basically beef that hangs out and dries on the outside, but then, you know, you cook it still afterwards. So they've got their cooking step in there. But it's just absolutely absurd. Another example, there's this other lady that she makes a lot of South African favorites, like milk tart and malva puddings, and she bakes a few things, and she also makes these absolutely amazing pies, meat pies, beef pies and stuff like that. You know, South African favorites. And she used to sell them at the store up here in Marine Drive at African Breeze. And then she got shut down because she is not an approved kitchen. Now, I mean, this is a lady that makes the stuff at her house. This is the food that she cooks for her family, for everybody else, for her people that come and visit her. And there's nothing wrong with it. It is perfect. But yet she's not allowed to make it and sell it. She used to do really well, so now they shut her down. Her whole income is gone. Everybody that loves her pies and loved her milk tarts and stuff now don't have access to it. So, you know, there's still a few people that would drive over and go fetch stuff from her, but like 70-80% of her income has dropped, just purely because the government believes that she needs to jump through so many damn hoops. You know, the thing that I find the funniest, if you even go into this whole system of the food safe and all of that, but some of it makes sense. You have to do a qualification, a food safe qualification, where they tell you how to keep your stuff clean and what you should be doing. Great, that makes sense, do that. And then they go into all of this little nitty-gritty like nonsense, you know, that I can pretty much guarantee you almost nobody does. They just say they do so they can get the qualification, the paperwork signed. And then of course it's the cost, you know, to actually make the stuff or to actually do the stuff. the way they want it done is so damn expensive, it's almost impossible for normal people to do that. Now they do have a little thing here in Canada that says you can, there's a home-based business, so there's what they call low-risk stuff, which is you can bake breads and stuff like that, that you can sell at fairs and market days. You're not allowed to sell it online, you're not allowed to sell it to people, other people, but you can sell it at fairs and market days. And I get why they want to do it. You mean? I think I understand. I mean, we all understand that part. We want to make sure that the food is safe and we want to take out the bad actors. But sometimes you also need to have a little bit of trust in people, and you need to give people a little bit of leeway. I mean, not everybody is a bad actor trying to poison people. Yeah. I suppose it's a very hard one. It's a very hard, where do you draw the line? But I think what's happening is it's in web development, in IT development, they've got something called scope creep. You know, it's like when you say, oh, I want this thing to do X, and then when it's there, you go, yeah, but can you make a little adjustment so it can do that as well? And then you do that, and they go, yeah, can you change it so it can do that as well? And then the whole thing just keeps getting more and more and more, and you go out of scope. In other words, scope creep. You do stuff that weren't planned in the beginning, that you didn't think about, but it just keeps on coming because it's these tiny little bits. Now, I think that's unfortunately a big problem with government as well. You have control creep. You know, it's like they look at things in individual status. You know, they look at things just like, oh, let me deal with this. Let me deal with this tiny little thing. And then when they deal with that, it works. And they go, oh, well, let me deal with another little thing. And what they don't realize is in the end, they actually take up all autonomy. I mean, should the government control every little single thing? Or should you have the choice? I mean, should I be able to go, right, I make this biltong and I sell this biltong, and on the back there's a thing that you, like a big warning that says this biltong was made in Cully's kitchen and he hasn't put a kill step into it, and it's your choice if you want to eat it, you know, or something along those lines. Or have a club. I mean, we've got the Biltong and Bride Club I started a while ago, and I actually haven't gotten to too much of it yet, but have a club where people join and go, oh, I'm happy to eat the biltong that guy makes because I trust him and I believe in him. Should people not have that freedom of choice? Should we not be able to decide ourselves what we want to eat and what we want to use? I mean, you can go buy cigarettes. Everybody is 100% sure that cigarettes are a huge killer, and the science is in and it's all there and it's happening. Yet you can still buy cigarettes with a big label warning, say, oh, this is going to kill you and give you cancer, and ridiculous pictures, but you can still buy it. You can buy vapes, which is the same thing. It's just like also got negative things, yet you can buy it. That's no problem. But you can't make biltong, and you can't buy the biltong. Cully can't make biltong. Although at the same time, there's a couple of people that do make biltong. So, I mean, means there must be a way through the maze. But they just make it important and ridiculously difficult. You know, in the US, they actually are a little bit less strict around that. There are certain states, I think Wyoming and some of the others, that's like, dude, you can make food and sell. If you kill somebody with your food, then you're responsible. You know, if you sell somebody food that's off or that's poisonous and they get sick or they die, then the government comes for you and we take care of you. But we're not going to get involved in the beginning and tell you how everything works. It's you. It's all you. It's your responsibility. That makes a lot more sense if you ask me. Although when we were traveling, we went past this goat farm in Tennessee. We stayed at an Airbnb. It was on the goat farm in Tennessee, and we met amazing couple, older people that live on the farm. And she was also saying they used to make goat's milk, cheese, and they used to do a lot of stuff with their goats. And then the government came and closed them down because they were like supposed to do so many like things. They had to install new tables and new, like, I don't know, like systems, and it was just they almost had to build a brand new facility. She couldn't make the stuff in her kitchen anymore. And that's just sometimes ridiculous. I feel it's overreach. That's what I think. I think it's too much. I don't think they should be able to just control stuff like that. You know, as a human, you must have your own choices. I'm all for that. I'm all for going, all right, this is not made in a government-controlled kitchen, so if you eat it, it's at your own risk. Well, yeah, sure. Go for it. Although at the same time, us humans are very fickle. For those of you that don't know, I mean, I dabble in cryptocurrencies occasionally, play a little bit here and play a little bit there, and follow what's going on there. And it's actually very funny. You know, I mean, the crypto guys are one of the crowds that are very against government intervention. Everybody in crypto is like, let us go, we can do our own thing, don't worry about it. So they don't want the government involved. Yet when last year or 2 years ago, when FTX, one of the biggest crypto exchanges, collapsed, everybody was like, where's the government? Why didn't they check these oaks out? Why didn't they stop the fraud? So I suppose it is what it is, you know. We tend to, whoa, that's a big cruise ship coming in. We tend to always do that. We tend to, like, as humans, it's always about ourselves, you know. When somebody is damaging me or giving me trouble, then I want the government to intervene. But if somebody is stopping me from doing something, then I don't want the government to intervene. I suppose that's who we are, right? Funny story. Hope you guys can see that ship. I mean, it's like huge. Let me see if I've got you on there. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Oh, there it is. Coming through. Unfortunately, like I said, camera doesn't work that well. All right, guys, I'm going to do my breathing exercises while you watch the ship come in. And then I'm going to go for my swim.
into that rhythm. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Chest and let go. Like a wave. Make it so. Fully in, letting go. Just keep on going. No pause between inhalation and exhalation. In with peace, out with stress. Letting go. Nice, circular breaths. 5 more. Let's give it all we got. Last clear. And on the exhale, stop. 1.5 minute breath hold from now on. Feel, become aware of your body. If your hands and feet are tingling, you feel your body temperature is changing. That's okay. You're doing fantastic. Before I give the cue, that's okay. You are almost there. Do you want to prolong your breath hold? Pause the video now and continue when you feel urged. You're ready? Fully in and hold for 15 seconds. Exhale in 3, 2. Let it go. Round number 3. Back into that rhythm. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. In with the relaxation, out with the stress. In, out. In, out. In, out. Into the belly, into the chest, and let go. Like a wave. Make it circular. Fully in, letting go. Just keep on going. No pause between inhalation and exhalation. In with peace, out with stress. 10 more. Fully in, letting go.
I must say it actually gets easier. Definitely gets easier. What doesn't get easier is remembering my towel, apparently, because once again today I forgot my towel. Suppose it's getting up early and then getting going. Brain's not functioning yet it's functioning now. Alright folks, time to start this beautiful Tuesday. You all must have an amazing one. Hope it turns out wonderful. Cheers.